Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, the month of August started with the Supreme Court returning Donald Trump's criminal case for trying to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election, returning that case, that federal prosecution, to trial court Judge Tanya Chutkan, so Judge Chutkan could conduct the hearing to try to determine, okay, which of Donald Trump's crimes and conduct constituted official presidential conduct, and which of his crimes and conduct was private conduct, not official presidential conduct, conduct of a candidate, so she could rule on which crimes should proceed to trial. And the month of August ended with Jack Smith filing a motion with Judge Chutkan saying, Judge, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to proceed to that all-important hearing. And in fact, the prosecutors are prepared to disclose, to reveal to you in a public filing all of the evidence of Donald Trump's crimes and conduct, so you, Judge, can make the all-important decision. What's official, what's not official? What enjoys immunity, what doesn't enjoy immunity from prosecution? And the most important word Jack Smith used in this new court filing to Judge Chutkan is that he will be revealing all of the, quote, unpled, close quote, crimes and conduct of Donald Trump. That's the stuff we, the people, haven't seen yet. It hasn't been revealed. We don't know the extent of Donald Trump's criminal conduct to try to steal the 2020 presidency. But Jack Smith said, Judge Chutkan, I'm prepared to disclose it all. And that, friends, is a damn good thing, because justice matters. Friends, here's a brief recap of the legal stories for the month that was August 2024. Well, friends, Donald Trump has, again, made clear exactly who he is. He doesn't back the blue. He backs those who assault the blue. So, friends, I want to start today with what is one of my favorite headlines in a long time. This from CBS News. Trial judge retakes control of Trump 2020 election case after Supreme Court immunity ruling. Or, put another way, Chutkan takes the reins. So friends, Judge Tanya Chutkan gets Donald Trump's D.C. criminal case back from the Supreme Court, and within 24 hours, she denies not just one, but two of Donald Trump's motions to dismiss his case. Here is a brief recap of the legal stories for the month that was July 2024. Well, friends, former Trump lawyer Jenna Ellis has flipped and agreed to cooperate with prosecutors in the Arizona election interference case. And remember, in that case, Donald Trump is an unindicted co-conspirator. Unindicted at the moment. So friends, Vice President Kamala Harris has picked the right person for the moment. Teacher, coach, veteran, and governor, Tim Walz. So friends, we just learned that the Arizona State Grand Jury that indicted Rudy Giuliani, Mark Meadows, and 16 others for being part of Donald Trump's scheme to try to overturn the 2020 election results in Arizona, that grand jury wanted to indict Donald Trump too. But the Arizona state prosecutors told the grand jury no. So friends, special counsel Jack Smith just asked for And presiding Judge Tanya Chutkan gave him a delay of about 3 weeks in essentially the next court hearing in Donald Trump's criminal case in Washington, D.C. for trying to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. So is this an indication that Jack Smith is trying to slow things down? No. Friends, today we're going to take a trip behind the scenes and look at the decision-making process at the Department of Justice. So friends, remember when Donald Trump urged Russia to hack U.S. computer systems to try to interfere in the 2016 presidential election? Hey, Russia, if you're listening, I urge you to find the 33,000 missing emails. Well, talk about your chickens coming home to roost. It looks like the Trump campaign was just hacked by foreign actors. Well, friends, news just broke that Donald Trump intends to sue the Department of Justice for malicious prosecution. And in some more breaking news, I intend to win the gold medal in the 100-meter dash at the 2028 LA Olympics. That was me running fast. Don't worry, we'll edit all that out. Let's talk about Donald Trump's latest nonsense. So friends, Donald Trump has pledged to pardon the January 6th defendants who attacked the U.S. Capitol, who assaulted the police officers who were protecting the Capitol that day, who were protecting everybody in the Capitol that day, who, in a very real sense, were protecting American democracy. One such J6 defendant was just sentenced, so let's have a look at the kind of people Donald Trump refers to as patriots and hostages, the kind of people Donald Trump has pledged to pardon.
Well, friends, we are now one step closer to seeing Donald Trump sentenced on his 34 felony convictions in New York.
I get to talk to Brian today about his new book, Shameless. Brian, I hope you're prepared for me to ask you the tough questions today as the person doing the interview for a change.
That's right. Let's see if I'm able to hack it in the hot seat here.
Well, friends, he's gone and done it again. Donald Trump and his lawyers make yet another desperate attempt to delay his sentencing in his New York criminal case, his sentencing on 34 felony convictions, until after the November election. So friends, Donald Trump just tried to convince us that he understands the financial challenges the American people face. And to convince us of that fact, what does he do? He stands in front of his members-only Bedminster Golf Club, which most Americans could never afford to join, and he tells us, seriously, I'm not making this up, he tells us he's going to, quote, take a box of Cheerios back to his cottage and, quote, have some fun. Friends, Donald Trump is an imbecile. Let's talk about that. So friends, I hear a question being raised more frequently these days, and probably with good reason. In his criminal trials, will Donald Trump be able to offer an insanity defense? So friends, in Donald Trump's New York case, the one in which the jury convicted him of 34 felony crimes, the one in which he is pending sentencing, we have a really interesting 48-hour time period coming up. There is one last hurdle that Lady Justice has to jump in order for Donald Trump to be sentenced. So friends, we had a little bit of a surprise today when the prosecutors in Donald Trump's New York criminal case were asked by the judge whether the September 18th sentencing date should remain in place or whether it should be rescheduled, the prosecutor said, quote, "We defer to the court." So what exactly does that mean? And what are the implications for Donald Trump's sentencing in his New York case? So friends, in a strange plot twist, something that just happened in Hunter Biden's criminal tax case out in Florida may turn out to be really bad for Donald Trump in his classified documents case in Florida. Curious, right? So friends, you want to know who Donald Trump really is? Well, ask those closest to him. People who spent lots of time with him behind closed doors. So friends, as a former career prosecutor, I watched Vice President Kamala Harris's speech at the DNC, and there was something that she said that resonated deeply and profoundly with me. And it involved, as she put it, 5 words. Kamala Harris for the people. Well, friends, New York Attorney General Letitia James is back in the news. She's asking a New York appeals court to reject Donald Trump's, quote, meritless legal arguments, close quote, and reject his, quote, deception, close quote, and asking the appeals court to affirm the nearly $500 million civil fraud judgment that was entered against Donald Trump. So friends, special counsel Jack Smith just filed his appeal of Judge Aileen Cannon's dismissal of Donald Trump's classified documents case, making it crystal clear to the appeals court that Judge Cannon had no business dismissing Trump's case, had no legal authority to dismiss Donald Trump's case, had no precedent supporting a dismissal of Donald Trump's case. So friends, in the wake of special counsel Jack Smith filing his appeal, urging the appeals court to reverse Judge Aileen Cannon's lawless ruling dismissing Donald Trump's classified documents case, in the wake of Jack Smith filing his brief, you all have flooded the zone with one question, and it is exactly the right question to ask. Why in the world has Jack Smith not filed a motion to remove Judge Aileen Cannon from continuing to preside over Donald Trump's case? Well, friends, special counsel Jack Smith adjusts to the Supreme Court presidential immunity ruling. He goes back into the grand jury and he re-indicts Donald Trump for his democracy-busting crimes.
So friends, Donald Trump disrespects soldiers and veterans. He desecrates the hallowed ground on which they're buried. And in the process, he disregards the law.
So friends, there's a new court filing. In Donald Trump's criminal case in Washington, D.C., the case in which he is indicted on 4 felony counts for trying to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election. And in that new court filing, there is one sentence that holds the answer to the question, will the American people get to learn more about Donald Trump's January 6 crimes before they have to go to the polls on November 5th? Let's talk about that, because justice matters.
It's for sure. Justice matters. Justice matters. it matters.